The young lady is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I rise today with an amendment to H.R. 3791, the Fire Grants Reauthorization Act of 2009. I'd like to first thank Chairman Gordon and Thompson for their work on this important legislation, and Chairwoman Slaughter for making my amendment in order. I appreciate their willingness to work with me on this important issue. The Fire Grants Reauthorization Act of 2009 will provide much-needed funding for fire departments across the United States. Since 2001, the Fire Grants Program has provided more than $5 billion to local fire departments to help them fund the purchase of equipment, train firefighters, and hire additional personnel. In all of our districts, local governments are struggling with their budgets, so these grants are especially important now to ensure that fire departments all across the country are able to access the resources they need and provide the critical services that we all depend on. My amendment to this important legislation is simple. It allows fire departments to apply for grant funding to purchase equipment that is designed to reduce water usage in fighting fires or in training to fight fires. This important expansion will provide fire departments the opportunity to purchase pieces of equipment that are not only effective in fighting fires, but are also efficient in water usage. By allowing and encouraging these purchases, we are helping fire departments not only fight fires in a safer way, but also in a way that uses less water. Preserving this valuable resource without diminishing firefighting safety and capability makes purchases by our local governments doubly beneficial. In my congressional district in southern Nevada, like in many desert communities, water is a valued, precious commodity. As such, it is also our most significant limited resource. Accordingly, state and local management officials and citizens, especially in the West, are constantly working to meet the water demands of a growing population of residents and tourists. This provision will help them in that effort to improve the efficiency of water usage techniques and technology. In preparing this amendment, I reached out to our local fire chief, Chief Steve Smith of the Clark County Fire Department. He informed me that with the right equipment, the amount of water used to fight a typical fire can be reduced by almost 80%. Not only does this technology reduce the amount of water required to extinguish a fire, it also limits structural damage, the threat of the fire rekindling, and runoff of dangerous chemicals into our local sewer systems. For all of these reasons, I urge the passage of this amendment. It will water, enhance firefighting abilities, protect property, and limit potential damage in the aftermath of fires. I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentlelady from Nevada reserves the balance of her time. The gentleman from Nebraska.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to claim time in opposition to the amendment, although I am not opposed to it.
The gentleman is recognized without objection.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment, as the sponsor indicated, would allow grant funds under the AFG program to be used to acquire equipment designed to reduce the amount of water used in firefighting or training. This amendment certainly makes sense, particularly in arid regions, which may be prone to fires and where water sources are often scarce. I support this amendment and reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Nebraska reserves the balance of his time. The gentlelady from Nevada.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I would like to yield to the chairman of the committee.
I just want to thank the gentlelady for this amendment. I think it demonstrates why having greater consultation makes a better bill. You bring unique expertise. We've got a lot more water in Tennessee than you have in Nevada, so thank you for this good amendment.
The gentleman from Tennessee yields back the balance of his time. The gentlelady from Nevada reserves the balance of her time. The gentleman from Nebraska.
I yield back.
The gentleman from Nebraska yields back the balance of his time. The gentlelady from Nevada.
Thank you. I'd just like to again to thank the chairman and the ranking member for their support of this and urge its passage to help save water while fighting fires.